Hello. How we doing? I'm doing bad. The sun set and I was trying to figure out where to be. I was under the bleachers for a bit. And I read The Angel Experiment. And then after that, I put on, I don't even remember the name of the song. It's by Kendrick Lamar. It was the one where the wife and husband are arguing back and forth saying, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. And then I started listening to Kendrick Lamar, like the entire album. It was Kendrick Lamar's been someone. Good Kid, Mad City was a album that helped me while navigating the world, because I do see the world as the streets in some sense. And as I was listening to that song, one of my earliest memories outside of the molestation was, and getting chased around by a chicken, was this moment where I think after my bathtub thing, so like one of my earliest memories is my mother coming home with her nails having been done. And my father didn't like that. And she ended up cutting them off in a spectacle sort of sense with scissors while crying. And that's one of my earliest memories. And as I grew up, there was always this idea of having to protect her. And I only ever saw my father as the bad guy, because I was young and I wanted to be able to do whatever I wanted, and I was rebellious, and in some sense that it is good to be it's not good to be rebellious. I think it's good to be able to be allowed to explore the world and have the ability to, but we don't have that. My dad used to be very abusive to my mother. And I got rid of him one night. We had an altercation that escalated, and the cops ended up getting called, and he ended up getting deported. And all my family was very upset about that. They were very upset about the fact that my father was gone. No one understood. My family couldn't. That was a motorcycle. And I didn't understand. Well, I did understand it at the time. They needed their father. They didn't understand what abuse was and all that kind of stuff. And then my father was gone, and it was just my mother and me. my father was gone, foundation was non-existent within the household. The house had free reign. And as I was listening to the album, it kind of was explained to me that my mother, in some sense, you guys remember that thing that I said a few months back about how she came to the house and she was like, we can use that and all that kind of stuff, but she had like a thing on her forehead, like it looked like she had been in an altercation, and I said that it was probably something to do with like something in the basement or something along those lines. And that's recent, that's just a few months ago. And like, I've gotten used to the idea of, well, I haven't, you know, it's a thing that exists, it's a thing that this world produces. But the idea that my family, well, I don't know if my siblings, because like my siblings is a little bit of a different story because we grew up together, but at the same time, they were living 2 separate lives, and I don't know if they ever, well, like I said, my sister seemed a little happy when I came about. My brother seemed to have accusatory eyes, but then a sort of relief when he saw that I loved him. But though it does hurt, you know, like this idea of non-belief or continuing to do the thing to me. And when I was going through my Facebook, and I as I was going backwards, like I noticed that from the inception of like this entire thing has been me trying to replace my mother, or trying to be the mother that my siblings never had, or the mother that so desperately is needed, or something along those lines, outside of like just my family unit. I wrote this thing down about the Queen of McDonald's and the Queen of Heaven, going back to the girl I dated named Elizabeth, which is funny because it's my sister's name, but in the context of the Queen of Heaven, I think it's my mother, and what it means to be able to have immunity for things, which sucks. And I don't know what to do, because that's a situation. That is a situation. So I think we're gonna read Lamentations, because I feel very alone right now. Oh, I'm at the middle school. They have an electrical outlet right here, which I think may be karma for all the gum that I gave away every day that I was here. I wrote this other thing, which is like, kind of like touches on the edible, which is, the system be like, that's mighty black of you, which I wrote because of all the cars passing by. Lament over Jerusalem. Chapter 1. Aleph. How she sits alone in the city once crowded with people. She who was great among the nations has become like a widow. The princess among the provinces have become a slave. Pet. She weeps aloud during the night, with tears on her cheeks. There is no one to offer her comfort, not one from all her lovers. All her friends have betrayed her. They have become her enemies. Gimel. Judah has gone into exile, following affliction and harsh slavery. She lives among the nations, but finds no place to rest. All her pursuers have overtaken her in narrow places. Dalet. Oh, this is pretty open. If you guys want to see, it's pretty nice. It's like a little corner. Dalet. The roads to Zion mourn, for no one comes to the appointed festivals. All her gates are deserted. Her priests groan. Her young women grieve, and she herself is bitter. Hey, her adversaries have become her masters. Her enemies are at ease, for the Lord has made her suffer because of her many transgressions. Her children have gone away as captives before the adversary. Vav. All her splendor has vanished from daughter Zion. Her leaders are like stags that find no pasture. They walk away exhausted before the hunter. Zayim. During the days of her affliction and homelessness, Jerusalem remembers all her precious belongings that were hers in days of old, when her people fell into the adversary's hands. She had no one to help. The adversaries looked at her, laughing over her downfall. Ket. Jerusalem has sinned grievously. Therefore, she has become an object of scorn. All who honored her now despise her, for they have seen her nakedness. She herself groans and turns away. Ted. Her uncleanness stains her skirts. She never considered her end. Her downfall was astonishing. There was no one to comfort her. Lord, look on my affliction, for the enemy triumphs. God, the adversary has seized all her precious belongings. She has even seen the nations enter her sanctuary, those you had forbidden to enter your assembly. Kaf. All her people groan while they search for bread. They have traded their precious belongings for food in order to stay alive. Lord, look and see how I have become despised. Lamed. 12. Is this nothing to you, all you who pass by? Look and see. Is there any pain like mine, which was dealt out to me, which the Lord made me suffer on the day of his burning anger? Mem. He sent fire from on high into my bones. He made it descend. He spread a net for my feet and turned me back. He made me desolate, sick all day. None. My transgressions have been formed into a yoke, fastened together by his hand. They have been placed on my neck, and the Lord has broken my strength. He has handed me over to those I cannot withstand. Yeah, part of my logic for coming here, because I've been stressing about, going to jail. And I was thinking about it, and in that moment where I realized that my mother was continuing to do this, I was like, yeah, you know what? If I am my mother, I'll just go to jail. Symbolically, metaphorically, screw it, I think whatever this symbolically means, Samek, the Lord has rejected all the mighty men within me. He has summoned an army against me to crush my young warriors. The Lord has trampled the virgin daughter Judah like grapes in a winepress. Ayin, I weep because of these things. My eyes flow with tears, for there is no one nearby to comfort me. Comfort me. No one to keep me alive. My children are desolate because the enemy has prevailed. Hey, Zion stretches out her hands. There is no one to comfort her. The Lord has issued a decree against Jacob, that his neighbors should be his adversaries. Jerusalem has become something impure among them. Sade, the Lord is in the right, for I have rebelled against his command. Listen, all you people, look at my pain. My young men and women have gone into captivity. Cough with a Q. I called to my lovers, but they betrayed me. My priests and elders perished in the city while searching for food to keep themselves alive. Resh, Lord, see how I am in distress. I am churning within. My heart is broken, for I have been very rebellious. Outside, the sword takes the children. Inside, there is death. Shin. People have heard me groaning, but there is no one to comfort me. All my enemies have heard of my misfortune. They are glad that you have caused it. Bring on the day you have announced, so that they may become like me. Tav, let their wickedness come before you, and deal with them as you have dealt with me, because of all my transgressions. For my groans are many, and I am sick at heart. Judgment on Jerusalem is the next section. We're going to finish Jeremiah now. Okay. My phone is charging. This one is charging as well. Okay. Oh, and then also my wife, who knows what she thought. I'm so sick. All right, let's hear the prophecies, actually. Yeah, let's hear the prophecies. The shower's turned off. Interesting. Prophecies against Kedar and Hazor. Or Hazor. 28. About Kedar and the kingdoms of Hazor, which Nebuchadnezzar, Babylon's king, defeated. This is what the Lord says. Rise up, go against Kedar, and destroy the people of the east. They will take their tents and their flocks along with their tent curtains and all their equipment. They will take their camels for themselves. They will call out to them. Terror is on every side. I wrote, in my notes, I wrote H, Zionist language, trauma, the horrors. Run. Escape quickly. Lie low, residents of Hazor. Hazor. I'm gonna go pee real quick. There's a camera right where I peed. And this is a school zone. This is the Lord's declaration. For Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, has drawn up a plan against you. He has devised a strategy against you. Rise up. Go up against the nation at ease. 31. One living in security. This is the Lord's declaration. They have no doors, not even a gate bar. They live alone. It makes sense why my sister cried, asking why I was talking to her when I called her. "32. Their camels will become plunder, and their massive herds of cattle will become spoiled." I just want to show a picture, okay? I just want to show one picture, just really quick. All right, just really quick. I think this is a very, very important picture, because if anybody fucks with my family, I'll fucking kill them. I will scatter them to the wind in every direction, those who shave their temples. I will bring calamity on them across all borders. Yeah, my hypocrisy, my pain, my hell. Hazor will become a jackal's den. a desolation forever. No one will live there. No human being will even stay in it as a resident alien. Prophecies against Elam. 34. This is the word of the Lord that came to Jeremiah the prophet about Elam, at the beginning of the reign of Zedekiah, king of Judah. 35. This is what the Lord of hosts says. I'm about to shatter Elam's bow. The source of their might. I will bring the four winds against Elam from the four corners of the heavens. I will scatter them to all these winds. There will not be a nation to which Elam's banished ones will not go. 37. I will devastate Elam before their enemies, before those who want to take their lives. I will bring disaster on them, my burning anger. This is the Lord's declaration. I will send the sword after them until I finish them off. 38. I will set my throne on Elam, in Elam, and I will destroy the king and officials from there. This is the Lord's declaration. 39. In the last days, I will restore the fortunes, sea of Elam. This is the Lord's declaration. Prophecies against Babylon. 50. The word of the Lord spoke about Babylon, the land of the Chaldeans, through Jeremiah the prophet. 2. Announce to the nations. Proclaim and raise up a signal flag. Proclaim and hide nothing. Say, Babylon is captured. Bel is put to shame. Marduk is devastated. Her idols are put to shame. Her false gods devastated. 3. For a nation from the north will come against her. It will make her land desolate. No one will be living in it. Both man and beast will escape. D. 4. In those days and at that time, this is the Lord's declaration. The Israelites and Judeans will come together, weeping as they come, and will seek the Lord their God. 5. They will ask about Zion, turning their faces to this road. They will come and join themselves. To the Lord in an everlasting covenant that will never be forgotten. 6. My people are lost sheep. Their shepherds have led them astray, guiding them the wrong way in the mountains. They have wandered from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place. 7. All who found them devoured them. Their adversaries said, "We're not guilty." Instead, they have sinned against the Lord, their righteous grazing land, the hope of their ancestors, the Lord. 8. Escape from Babylon. Depart from the Chaldeans' land. Be like the rams that lead the flock. 9. I will soon stir up and bring against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country. They will line up in battle formation against her. From there she will be captured. Their arrows will be like those of a skilled warrior who does not return empty-handed. I was watching a sunset today, and as I was watching a sunset, there was this couple walking by, and the guy was listening as his wife was like talking, and she was just flailing her arms around everywhere. And it was just interesting. It was very interesting. When we're talking about like the edible nature of the system and everything. The Chaldeans will become plunder. All the plunderers will be fully satisfied. This is the Lord's declaration. 11. Because you rejoice, because you sing in triumph, you who plundered my inheritance, because you frolic like a young cow treading grain, and neigh like stallions. 12. Your mother will be utterly humiliated. She who bore you will be put to shame. Look, she will lag behind all the nations. A dry land, a wilderness, an Arabah. 13. Because of the Lord's wrath, she will not be inhabited. She will become a desolation, every bit of her. Everyone who passes through Babylon will be horrified and scoff because of all her wounds. 14. Line up in battle formation around Babylon, all you archers. Shoot at her. Do not spare an arrow, for she has sinned against the Lord. 15. Raise a war cry against her on every side. She has thrown up her hands in surrender. In surrender. Her defense towers have fallen. Her walls are demolished. Since this is the Lord's vengeance, take out your vengeance on her, as she has done. Do the same to her. 16. Cut off the sower from Babylon, as well as him who wields the sickle at harvest time. Because of the oppressor's sword, each will turn to his own people. Each will flee to his own land. The return of God's people. 17. Israel is a stray lamb, chased by lions. The first who devoured him was the king of Assyria. This last who has crunched his bones was Nebuchadnezzar's king of Babylon. This verse right here may be a good explanation as to how I feel about my family and what they're doing, or the person on the table. 17. Israel is a stray lamb, chased by lions. The first who devoured him was the king of Assyria. This last who has crunched his bones was Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon. The first two, and then my wife replied with, "Who is this?" the pain. 18. Therefore, give me a second. I'm gonna smoke some weed, and I don't want you guys. 18. Therefore, this is what the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, says: I'm about to punish the king of Babylon and his land, just as I punished the king of Assyria. 19. I will return Israel to his grazing land, and he will feed on Carmel and Bashan. He will be satisfied in the hill country of Ephraim and of Gilead. 20. In those days and at that time, this is the Lord's declaration. One will search for Israel's guilt, but there will be none. And for Judah's sins, but they will not be found. For I will forgive those I leave as a remnant. The invasion of Babylon. 21. Go against the land of Maritime, against those living in Akkad. Put them to the sword. Completely destroy them. This is the Lord's declaration. Do everything I have commanded you. 22. The sound of war is on the land, a great destruction. 23. How the hammer of the whole earth is cut down and smashed. What a horror Babylon has become among the nations. 24. Babylon, I laid a trap for you, and you were caught. But you did not even know it. You were found and captured because you fought against the Lord. 25. The Lord opened his armory and brought out his weapons of wrath, because it is a task of the Lord God of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. 26. Come against her from the most distant places. A. Open her granaries, pile her up like mounds of grain, and completely destroy her. Leave her no survivors. 27. Put all her young bulls to the sword. Let them go down to the slaughter. Woe to them, because their day has come, the time of their punishment, the humiliation of Babylon. 28. There is a voice of fugitives and escapees from the land of Babylon, announcing in Zion the vengeance of the Lord our God, the vengeance of his temple. 29. Summon the archers to Babylon, all who string the bow, camp all around her, let none escape. Repay her according to her deeds, just as she has done. Do the same to her, for she has acted arrogantly against the Lord, against the Holy One of Israel. 30. Therefore, her young men will fall in her public squares, all the warriors will be silenced in that day. This is the Lord's declaration. 31. Look, I am against you, you arrogant one. This is the declaration of the Lord God of hosts. Because your day has come, the time when I will punish you. 32. The arrogant will stumble and fall with no one to pick him up. I will set fire to his cities, and it will consume everything around him. The desolation of Babylon. This is what the Lord of hosts says. Israelites and Judeans alike have been oppressed. All their captors hold them fast. They refuse to release them. 34. Their Redeemer is strong. The Lord of hosts is his name. He will fervently plead their case so that he might bring rest to the earth, but turmoil to those who live in Babylon. 35. A sword is over the Chaldeans. This is the Lord's declaration against those who live in Babylon, against her officials, and against her sages. 36. A sword is against the diviners, and they will act foolishly. A sword is against her heroic warriors, and they will be terrified. 37. A sword is against his horses and chariots, and against all the foreigners among them, and they will be like women. The sword is against her treasures, and they will be plundered. 38. A drought will come on her waters, and they will be dried up, for it is a land of carved images, and they go mad because of terrifying things. B. 39. Therefore, desert creatures, sea, will live with jackals, and ostriches will also live in her. It will never again be inhabited or lived in through all generations. 40. Just as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and their neighboring towns, this is the Lord's declaration. So no one will live there. No human being will ever stay in it as a resident alien. The conquest of Babylon. 41. Look, a people comes from the north, a great nation, and many kings will be stirred up from the remote regions of the earth. 42. They will grasp bow and javelin. They are cruel and show no mercy. Their voice roars like the sea, and they ride on horses, lined up like men in battle formation against you, daughter of Babylon. 43. The king of Babylon has heard reports about them, and his hands fall helpless. Distress has seized him, pain like a woman in labor. 44. Look, it will be like a lion coming up from the thickets. A. Of the Jordan to be the perennially watered grazing land. Indeed, I will chase Babylon, B, away from her land in a flash. appoint whoever is chosen for her. For who is like me? Who will summon me? Who is the shepherd who can stand against me? 45. Therefore, hear the plans that the Lord has drawn up against Babylon, and the strategies he has devised against the land of the Chaldeans. Certainly the flocks of little lambs will be dragged away. Certainly the grazing land will be made desolate because of them. At the sound of Babylon's conquest, the earth will quake. A cry will be heard among the nations. So I have this note here. And it's a quote saying, I don't see the good about it. My mother came by today. She brought me some watermelon and some spaghetti. And she gave me $40. And as we were interacting, it felt, again, it felt like edible. It felt like a table. I didn't feel like a table, but like in the context, like within the context of what we're talking about right now, the edible nature and as I was sitting inside of the bleachers, the aloneness of the reality of the depravity of the world hit me like a ton of bricks. And it recontextualized the conversation I had with my mother in my brain at this current moment. And so when she said, I don't see the good about it, she was saying it sardonically because we kind of left in like a good position. I felt like we were both like, I love you. But in the context of the edible nature of everything and the recency of her continuing to do that to me. Again, going back to that thing of Israel is a stray lamb chased by lions. The first who devoured him was the king of Assyria. This last who was crunched his bones was Nebuchadnezzar's king of Babylon. Therefore, this is what the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, says. And I think Israelites at this point constitute almost the entirety of the world. The fact, that's why the Zionist language stresses me out so much, because it can only be understood through the lens of trauma and having to hide or I don't know. It's all a mess. God's judgment of Babylon. That car's driven past 3-4 times now. It's a nice car. It's like a Corvette. Corvette, yeah. I remember one time I was going skiing with my brothers, and I was trying to get them to understand that I was interacting with the CIA and everything. And I played this song called Clouds by J. Cole, where they mentioned me by my nickname Mario. And when I was interacting with them, they were all playing their role immaculately. And I think they understood that we were being watched, and my interpretations of media have been lacking, or not understanding this thing or the language or this thing or something. And but I wanted to show them, and I wanted to show them what I had been doing. and I thought that was a pretty good song. I put on a few songs in a playlist, and he had said something about working out his core, which I thought was cool because it kind of showed that, like, even if he couldn't speak to me and say, I know what you're doing, he was able to say, hey, what you're doing is, I'm watching things that are, that you're putting through, and it's being laundered through me, or something along those lines. I'm listening to you. You're affecting me, is what he's saying, or something along those lines. God's judgment on Babylon. 51. This is what the Lord says. I am about to stir up a destructive wind, sea, against Babylon, and against the population of Leb, Kamai, D. Okay, also the Corvette. I was seeing a whole bunch of pictures from when I was a little kid, 8th, 9th grade, where we had moved from Mexico to California, and I've always really liked cars. I thought they were cool. I used to look at like concept, like I used to have a floppy disk that I filled with a whole bunch of concept cars, because I like the idea of like what the future would look like. You know, the world could be more than what it was, and what it is. And I've always really liked cars. And when we moved from Mexico to back to Washington, we stayed in California while we waited for my father to cross the border. And my Uncle Jaime had some Corvettes, 2 Corvettes, and I always thought cars were cool, you know. And I was really interested. Like, I saw the series of pictures, and there was pictures of the Corvettes, and then from the Corvette we see my uncles pulling out RC cars and playing around with the RC cars. And it's in essence like this idea that my family was like making fun of me in some sense, because I thought that the world could be more than just killing, you know. Because the idea is that when it comes down to it, death is inevitable, and it's the only truth of the world, or something along those lines, because we don't live in civilization, we live in wilderness, which is why I continue to say that I've always looked at the world as the streets. Anyways, let's read this chapter. Give me a second, I'm gonna hit this real quick. I gotta fix my battery, hold up. Okay, I'm back. Stop. Visitors, please check in at the office, if you could. I didn't even hit the vape. Alright, I'm back. Got oh no. Jail. God's judgment on Babylon. Chapter 51. This is what the Lord says. I am about to stir up a destructive wind, sea, against Babylon, and against the population of Leb, Kamai, D. 2. I will send strangers to Babylon, who will scatter her and strip her land bare, for they will come against her from every side in the day of disaster. 3. Don't let the archer string his bow. Don't let him put his armor. Don't let him put I think that was about Lamentations, because my mother said something about one. And then also one was mentioned today. Yeah, in the YouTubes. I don't remember which one. CJ the X. Don't spare her young men. Completely destroy her entire army. 4. Those who were slain will fall in the land of the Chaldeans. Those who were pierced through in her streets. 5. For Israel and Judah are not left widowed by their God, the Lord of hosts, though their land is full of guilt against the Holy One of Israel. 6. Leave Babylon. Save your lives, each of you. Don't be silenced by her guilt. I just remember back in 2024, 2025, when my wife broke up with her fiance, and she was single, I sent her a message. Well, she had posted something that she was selling books on Etsy, like mystery books, mystery letters on Etsy, or like date with a book or something along those lines. And since she was single and I missed her, I thought it was like an opportune time, because I had just, done a whole lot of stuff. I thought it was like a good moment to I messaged her, and then I ordered a book, and then we were talking, and we kind of got into an argument, and I was like, does this mean you're not sending me a book? And she's like, obviously I'm not sending you a book. And as I'm reading this, I don't know why, but I just thought of that, and just the fact that obviously I'm sending her a book. For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will pay her what she deserves. 7. Babylon has a golden cup in the Lord's hand, making the whole earth drunk. The nations drink her wine, therefore the nations go mad. Suddenly, 8. Suddenly, Babylon fell and was shattered. Wail for her. Get balm for her wound. Perhaps she can heal. 9. We tried to heal Babylon, but she could not be healed. Abandon her. Let each of us go to his own land, for her judgment extends to the sky and reaches as far as the clouds. 10. Little spider. It lives, die. The Lord has brought about our vindication. Come, let's tell in Zion what the Lord our God has accomplished. 11. Sharpen the arrows. Fill the quivers. The Lord has put it into the mind of the kings of the Medes, because his plan is aimed at Babylon to destroy her. For it is the Lord's vengeance for his temple. 12. Raise up a signal flag against the walls of Babylon. Fortify the watchpost. Set the watchmen in place. Prepare the ambush. For the Lord has both planned and accomplished what he has threatened against those who live in Babylon. 13. You who reside by many waters, rich in treasures, your end has come. Your life thread is cut. 14. The Lord of hosts has sworn by himself, I will fill you up with men as with locusts, and they will sing the victory song over you. 15. He made the earth by his power, established the world by his wisdom, and spread out the heavens by his understanding. 16. When he thunders, F, the waters in the heavens are in turmoil, and he causes the clouds to rise from the ends of the earth. He makes lightning for the rain and brings the wind from his storehouses. 17. Everyone is stupid and ignorant. Every goldsmith is put to shame by his carved image. For his cast images are a lie. There is no breath in them. 18. They are worthless, a work to be mocked. At the time of their punishment, they will be destroyed. 19. Jacob's portion, A, is not like these, because he is the one who formed all things. Israel is the tribe of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name. 20. You are my battle club. You know what I find fascinating about that picture? That he was holding me. Because I think that is so important. And I can't explain it, but yeah. 20. You are my battle club. My weapons of war. With you I will smash nations. With you I will bring kingdoms to ruin. 21. With you I will smash the horse and its rider. With you I will smash the chariot and its rider. 22. With you I will smash man and woman. With you I will smash the old man and the youth. With you I will smash the young man and the virgin. 23. With you I will smash the shepherd and his flock. With you I will smash the farmer and his ox team. B. With you I will smash governors and officials. 24. I will repay Babylon and all the residents of Chaldea for all their evil they have done. In Zion, before your very eyes. This is the Lord's declaration. 25. Give me a second. I gotta check some stuff. 56% on that. And 36 minutes to fully charged. I gotta charge so many things. We're at 90% on here. Okay. $25. Look, I am against you. Devastating mountain. This is the Lord's declaration. You devastate the whole earth. I will stretch out my hand against you, roll you down the cliffs, and turn you into a burned out mountain. 26. No one will be able to retrieve a cornerstone or a foundation stone from you, because you will become desolate forever. This is the Lord's declaration. 27. Raise a signal flag in the land. Blow a ram's horn among the nations. Set apart the nations against her. Summon kingdoms against her. Ararat, Mini, and Ashkenaz. Appoint a marshal against her. Bring up horses like a swarm, sea of locusts. 28. Set apart the nations for battle against her. The kings of Media, her governors and all her officials, and all the lands they rule. 29. The earth quakes and trembles, because the Lord's purpose against Babylon, because the Lord's purposes against Babylon stand, to make the land of Babylon an uninhabited desolation. 30. Babylon's warriors have stopped fighting. They sit in their strongholds. Their might is exhausted. They have become like women. Babylon's homes have been set ablaze. Her gate bars are shattered. 31. Water, food, atmosphere. Yesterday would have been a good time to use that quote, I think. Messenger races to meet messenger, and herald to meet herald, to announce to the king of Babylon that his city has been captured from end to end. 32. The fords have been seized, the marshes set on fire, and the soldiers are terrified. 33. For this is what the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, says. The daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor. At the time it is trampled. In just a little while, her harvest time will come. As I was reading that, I was thinking of one of the first TikToks that I made, where I was like, kind of like in it, you know? And I made eye contact with the camera, and I was like, you know what I mean? I can't recreate it right now, but like, I was thinking about that. I like that. Like, it was like the first moment that I was like, actually like, hello, I guess. Maybe, possibly. Or the idea of like looking the organization and those who reside in Babylon dead in the eye. And now I'm cold. 34. Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon has devoured me. He has crushed me. He has set me aside like an empty dish. The spaghetti bowl is empty, by the way. He has swallowed me like a sea monster. He filled his belly with my delicacies. He has vomited me out. D. 35. Says the inhabitant of Zion, let the violence done to me and my family be done to Babylon. Let my blood be on the inhabitants of Chaldea, says Jerusalem. You know, as this says, the inhabitants of Zion, I keep thinking of the scene from A Clockwork Orange where the guy like sits on someone's lap and like is saying words, or like is behind him saying words, and the guy is just like, yeah. Because I think that's kind of like what Zion is, you know, like you're like I'm saying words, but like it's a spell is being uttered, or you're being put under like a hypnotic something or another, you know, which I think is interesting. It's fascinating and it feels great, but sometimes it feels great. Other times, you know, we let the violence done to me and my family be done to Babylon. Let my blood be on the inhabitants of Chaldea, says Jerusalem. 36. Black pickup truck just passed straight up, forward. 36. Oh goodness. Therefore, this is what the Lord says. I am about to plead your case and take vengeance on your behalf. I will dry up her sea and make her fountain run dry. 37. Babylon will become a heap of rubble, a jackal's den, a desolation. And an object of scorn without inhabitant. 38. They will roar together like young lions. They will growl like lion cubs. I think that was a great pickup truck. Lots of pickup trucks. I think I'm just gonna start calling out everything. Like if I were to do like live streams and I just like call out like as I'm speaking. Like if I were to do a live stream and just talk, and as I'm talking, we just like it'll be like instead of numbers and letters, we'll do colors and possibly license plates, though that may be a lot. As I say that, there's a truck right there dropping stuff off at Safeway, and there's only an S, which I said hello to a guy named Rush from Safeway today. and he looked very happy to see me. And I don't know how he is within the context of Babylon. We can just call it Babylon from now on? Sure, why not? We can name it Spider. $39. While they are flushed with heat, I will serve them a feast, and I will make them drunk so that they revel. Then they will fall asleep forever and never wake up. This is the Lord's declaration. 40. I will bring them down like lambs to the slaughter, like rams together with male goats. 41. How Shashash. Oh yeah. That's why I wrote down H, Zionist language, trauma, and the horrors, because as I'm reading this, or like through the Zionist language, I'm thinking of my wife, you know, but I'm saying things like, with you I will smash governors and officials, which is a crazy thing to say, you know, but what are you gonna do? It's Domino's. Anybody want some pizza? No repercussions, I swear. I don't even know where I left off. 41. No. Yes. Let's just start at 41. How Shashash has been captured. The praise of the whole earth sees what a horror Babylon has become among the nations. 42. The sea has risen over Babylon. She is covered with its turbulent waves. 43. Her cities have become a desolation, a dry and arid land. A land where no one lives, where no human being passes through. 44. I will punish Bel and Babylon. I will make him vomit when he answers what he answers. The nations will no longer stream to him. Even Babylon's walls will fall. 45. Come out from among her, my people. Save your lives, each of you, from the Lord's burning anger. 46. May you not become faint-hearted and fearful when the report is proclaimed in the land, for the report will come 1 year, and then another the next year. There will be a violence in the land with ruler against ruler. 47. Therefore, look, the days are coming when I will punish Babylon's carved images. Her entire land will suffer shame, and all her slain will lie, fallen within her. 48. Heaven and earth and everything in them will shout for joy over Babylon, because the destroyers of the north will come against her. This is the Lord's declaration. 49. Babylon must fall because of, yeah, that's apt, the slain of Israel. Even as the slain of all the earth fell because of Babylon. 50. You who have escaped the sword, go and do not stand still. Remember the Lord from far away, and let Jerusalem come to your mind. 51. We are ashamed because we have heard insults. Humiliation covers our faces because foreigners have entered the holy places of the Lord's temple. 52. Therefore, look, the days are coming. This is the Lord's declaration, when I will punish her carved images, and the wound will groan throughout her land. 53. Even if Babylon should ascend to the heavens and fortify her tall fortresses, destroyers will come against her from me. This is the Lord's declaration. 54. The sound of a cry from Babylon, the sound of great destruction from the land of the Chaldeans. 55. For the Lord is going to devastate Babylon. He will silence her mighty voice. Their waves will roar like abundant waters. The tumult of their voice resounds. 56. For a destroyer is coming against her, against Babylon. Her warriors will be captured, their bows shattered. For the Lord is a God of retribution. He will certainly repay. 57. I will make her princes and sages drunk, along with her governors, officials, and warriors. Then they will fall asleep forever and never wake up. This is the King's declaration. Lord of hosts is his name. 58. This is what the Lord of hosts says. Babylon's thick walls will be totally demolished, and her high gates consumed by fire. The peoples will have labored for nothing. The nations will exhaust themselves only to feed the fire. Nice. Alright, cool. The S was blocked, so I think Russia's a cool dude. Possibly, maybe? S. Nice. Alright, cool. Half? A little bit. Maybe he's just parking. Okay, alright. He's just parking. There was an S. There's something here about that. It was... I can't find it. But that thing, it said everybody will be weighed or something along those lines. He will pay her for what she deserves. And that's to everybody within the organization. I hate everything. Where even was I? 49. No, 50, 51, 57. Yes. 58. 59. 59. This is what Jeremiah the prophet commanded Sariah, son of Neriah, son of Messiah, the quartermaster, when he went to Babylon with Zedekiah, king of Judah, in the 4th year of Zedekiah's reign. 60. Jeremiah wrote on one scroll about all the disaster that would come to Babylon. All these words were written against Babylon. 61. Jeremiah told Sariah, when you get to Babylon, see that you read all these words aloud. 62. You must say, Lord, you have threatened to cut off this place so that no one will live in it, man or beast. Indeed, it will remain desolate forever. 63. When you have finished reading this scroll, tie a stone to it and throw it into the middle of the Euphrates River. 64. Then say, in the same way, Babylon will sink and never rise again, because of the disaster I am bringing on her. They will grow weary. The words of Jeremiah end here. The fall of Jerusalem. 52. Zedekiah was 21 years old when he became king. He reigned 11 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Hamutal, daughter of Jeremiah. She was from Libnah. 2. Zedekiah did what was evil in the Lord's sight, just as Jehoiakim had done. 3. Because of the Lord's anger, it came to the point in Jerusalem and Judah that he finally banished them from his presence. Nevertheless, Zedekiah rebelled against the king of Babylon. 4. In the 9th year of Zedekiah's reign, on the 10th day of the 10th month, King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon advanced against Jerusalem with his entire army. They laid siege to the city and built a siege wall all around it. 5. The city was under siege until King Zedekiah's 11th year. 6. By the 9th day of the 4th month, the famine was so severe in the city that the people of the land had no food. 7. Then the city was broken into, and all the warriors fled. They left the city by night, by way of the gate between the 2 walls near the king's garden. Though the Chaldeans surrounded the city, they made their way along the route of the Arabah. 8. The Chaldean army pursued the king and overtook Zedekiah in the plains of Jericho. Zedekiah's entire army was scattered from him. 9. The Chaldeans seized the king and brought him to the king of Babylon at Riblah in the land of Hamath. And he passed sentence on him. 10. At Riblah, the king of Babylon. They're dropping off human trafficking. 10. At Riblah. Actually, this might be a good point in time to kind of explain something, I don't know, like right now, I'm out in the open, right? And I feel relatively safe here. There hasn't been any, like, no one has given me any dirty looks. And I was thinking of the idea of, like, the psychology of what it's like to, like, be someone within the organization that, like, moves around or just drives around in a circle, or, you know, like that car that passed by 3 times. And what it's like, you know, like, I feel connected to the body without organs, nature, wilderness, Mother Earth, all that stuff. But I just scratched my nose, I think. But when I'm in my car, well, obviously I don't feel safe there because I think I'm gonna have to, like, leave or go to jail again. But as I was in my house, well, the studio, I turned the white noise machine on because I didn't want to listen to all that stuff. It's to be in a confined space and be surrounded by the wilderness is crazy. And it's, like I said, like, to me, the world has always looked, this is what the world sounds like, you know? Clanging and roaring, and, well, as well, you know, like, sometimes the world will roar when I don't say something, but my body is feeling it, which I think is kind of cool. But again, you know, we get into this whole idea of, like, safety and what it means to be able to explore the world in a safe manner. I don't know. My back hurts. Ow. My sciatica. I don't even remember where I was. 12. On the 10th day of the 5th month, which was the 19th year of King Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon. Nebuzaradan, the commander of the guards, entered Jerusalem as the representative of B, the king of Babylon. That's funny, as I'm talking about my sciatica. 13. He burned the Lord's temple, the king's palace, all the houses of Jerusalem, and all the houses of the nobles. Even if they're not human, like putting human trafficked people into the Safeway, which is a very big claim. All right, do not quote me on that one. All right, I have no reason to believe that outside of just there's a truck right there. Outside of that, it is happening in the world, and I'm pretty sure it's happening here because there is a fight club somewhere that will find you. Drop stuff. Okay, so there's a couple that just split apart. So, like, I'm pretty sure there's, like, something in the audience that just happened where one of you guys went that way and one of you guys went that way because of the human trafficking thing that I just talked about. So, yes, this is a thing. 13. He burned the Lord's temple, the king's palace, all the houses of Jerusalem. He dropped a shirt. That's why I was like, hey, I was about to yell, but he burned the Lord's temple, the king's palace, all the houses of Jerusalem, and all the houses of the nobles. 14. The whole Chaldean army with the commander of the guards tore down all the walls surrounding Jerusalem. 15. Nebuzaradan, the commander of the guards, deported some of the poorest of the people, as well as the rest of the people who were left in the city. Oh, the deserters who had defected to the king of Babylon, and the rest of the craftsmen. 16. But some of the poor people of the land, Nebuzaradan, the commander of the guards, left to be vine dressers and farmers. I was about to say something, and then a car locked, and I kept reading, and now I forgot. And I was thinking about how weird it was that I listened to the car and trusted myself. Yes. With addendums, of course. Always my addendums. Because, like, if it's an infinite fractal, right? And we're, like, infinitely recursing, like if I, like, because sometimes, like, after I'm done reading, I'll go and watch it while I'm in the escalator. If we're infinitely recursing to the point where, like, we're affecting the world, then the addendums are important, right? What do you think? We'll see. That was a message to myself. I haven't done that one. All right. 17. Now the Chaldeans broke into pieces the bronze pillars of the Lord's temple, and the water carts and the bronze reservoir that were in the Lord's temple, and carried all the bronze to Babylon. 18. They took the pots, the shovels, the wick trimmers, the sprinkling basins, the dishes, and all the bronze articles used in temple service. Temple. "19. The commander of the guards took away the bowls, the fire pans, the sprinkling basins, the pots, the lampstands, the pans, and the drink offering bowls, whatever was gold or silver." 20. As for the 2 pillars, the 1 reservoir and the 12 bronze bowls under the water carts that King Solomon had made for the Lord's temple, the weight of the bronze of all these articles was beyond measure. 21. 1 pillar was 27 feet tall, had a circumference of 18 feet, D, was hollow, 4-finger stick. Another thing, okay, this kind of reminded me of the last little ribbon that we did about the transference, because it goes from me shrinking, like it was painful. It was a hard read to read, whatever that was, and then as I read it, I ended up being able to poop. So it's like a transference of like, this is gonna suck for you, and then it's gonna be good for you. But I think within the context of the ritual, it may be this is gonna be good for you, and then it's gonna really suck for you, or something like that. As for the bronze pillars, the 1 reservoir and the 12 bronze bowls under the water carts that King Solomon had made for the Lord's temple, the weight of the bronze of all these articles was beyond measure. 21. One pillar was 27 feet C tall, had a circumference of 18 feet D, was hollow, 4 fingers thick. 22. It had a bronze capital on top of it. One capital, encircled by bronze latticework and pomegranates, stood 7.5 feet high. Feet, E. There's an E right next to feet, nice. The second pillar was the same, with pomegranates. 23. Each capital had 96 pomegranates all around it. All the pomegranates around the latticework numbered 100. 24. The commander of the guards also took away Sariah, the chief priest, Zephaniah, the priest of the second rank, and the 3 doorkeepers. 25. From the city, he took a court official who had been appointed over the warriors, 7 trusted royal aides. A. Found in the city. The secretary of the commander of the army, who enlisted the people of the land for military duty, and 60 men from the common people who were found within the city. 26. Nebuzaradan, the commanders of the guards, took men and brought them to the king of Babylon at Riblah. 27. The king of Babylon put them to death in Riblah, in the land of Hamath. Thus Judah went into exile from his land. 28. These are the Thus Judah went into exile. All right, fine. I hear a car backing up, so we're going to stop there at 28, because the next thing is Jehoiachin pardoned. So we'll see where we go from there. But I really wanted Lamentations to be like its own little thing. Chapter 28. These are the people Nebuchadnezzar deported in the 7th year. 3,023 Jews. 29. In her 18th year, B. 832 people from Jerusalem. 30. In Nebuchadnezzar's 23rd year, Nebuzaradan, the commander of the guards, deported 745 Jews. Altogether, 4,600 people were deported. Jehoiachin pardoned. 31. On the 25th day of the 12th month of the 37th year of the exile of Judah's king Jehoiachin, evil Merodach, king of Babylon, in the 1st year of his reign, pardoned King Jehoiachin of Judah and released him from the prison. 32. He spoke kindly to him and set his throne above the thrones of the kings who were with him in Babylon. 33. So Jehoiachin changed his prison clothes, and he dined regularly in the presence of the king of Babylon, for the rest of his life. You know, when I go to my car, there's like a different interaction for some reason whenever I'm home or whenever I'm inside a place. I get turned into them, or I get turned into, look, I am them, I am home, you know? But because of the organization and whatever goes into my eyeballs and whatever I proliferate out into the world, my identity has to change from one thing to the next. Kind of like when I go on algorithms, I have to speak a certain way and all that kind of stuff. Home used to be the one place where I could like feel magnanimous about myself, but now I have to be a victim for some reason. Because apparently I'm gonna punch you. 34. As for his allowance, a regular allowance was given to him by the king of Babylon, a portion for each day until the day of his death, for the rest of his life. Lamentations. I can't believe Lamentations is even a book in the Bible. When I first found that book, I thought it was from like the Apocrypha or something, but no, it's a part of the Bible. We're at 97% on that. Battery's fully charged on the computer. 74% on this bad boy. We are cooking. I'm gonna have to see what the energy transference is from one battery to the next though. What a day. What a day. As I'm going through the day, because like it's interspersed, right? Like I'll read something, or did I even make a video today? I don't think I did. I didn't touch the Bible at all today. I was busy doing things, getting to a point where my day was ruined to the point where like, okay, I need to go to jail so I could actually read that. And then Jehoiachin got pardoned. There's that. There's that thing about those people that I call by name will be saved through the measuring or something along those lines. Which, again, you know, what is the difference between God and Jesus? You know, I think I'm just going to start ending all my videos with that question. I think it's a very good question. At the same time, I have to think about the future audience and how, for them, I'm already God, so. What a weird world I live in. Because I'm part of an organization that I'm trying to convince that I'm God, or battling, because they're battling, we're all battling for our lives in a death cult that was created. But yeah, the idea of godhood and the mortal, because like I am mortal, you know, I got a big ass forehead. I'm essentially the inception of a new creation, possibly, maybe, I don't know, because I really don't know. Well, no, I do think there's people out there like me. It's just I don't really know. No, because we're moving away from depravity, right? Hopefully, ideally, at some... Yeah. We will live in a world where there will be no murder, no anything. There will be nothing. Hello to the future. Hello to me from in a few days. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Human Race. I don't even know who you are, and I already know you're beautiful. All my notes have Hayden on there. But again, we're trying to bring something new into the world, so. All right, it's a good, yeah, it's a great place to leave it at. Yes, have a good night. I love you.